Hello my friend, how are you doing? Welcome to your private lesson for music to watch girls go by. This is your full transcription of this terrific rearrangement by Richard Smith of the Chet Atkins arrangement. Now, I divided this into 7 parts, and if you look at the tab and if you look at him playing and listen to it, this is a scary piece, right? It's scary looking, it's scary sounding, and how do you even start learning it? The answer is very, very slowly. That's my main job in this lesson, to break it down for you, to slow it down so you can see and listen to what's really going on. Okay, because every time you have Travis picking, things sound a lot more complicated than they really are. Now, this is a complicated piece because you don't really have much time to rest. Okay, you have a melody all the time, you have chord transitions all the time, and you have to be very precise. But to be honest with you, if you take your time and you just practice each part, okay, slowly and patiently until you get it down, you'll be able to play it from start to finish at the end. Okay, don't try to play everything right away. Okay, so I divided this into 7 parts, and the first part is just the intro. Okay? And then you have the second part, the one with the main melody. Okay, this one, where you have a lot of chord changes, so I wrote the picking pattern very precisely. But if you look from part 3 onwards, there are many places where I just wrote the chord and I wrote the melody, because Travis picking kind of does everything automatically. Okay, so on the second part, you need a very precise picking pattern. And from the third part onward, you need to focus on the melody. So it's a little bit easier. Okay? So as you'll see, this is scary, but it's doable. All right. So part 1, as we said, is the intro. Okay? And the thumb pattern is it's E minor, and you play strings 6, 4, 5, 4. Okay? And every time you play the 4th string, you play strings 2 and 3 with it. Okay? You play it twice or 4 times, and then you play the bass and the chord again. Then you play 1, 2 on the 5th string, and when you play the 2, okay, you play the chord again, strings 2 and 3. So you play, right? Okay, got it? 6th string, 4th string with the chord, 1, 2 with the chord, okay? And then you have the main melody. Now, once you get the picking pattern down, you'll see that it's repetitive. And it's just a matter of changing the chord. So let's look at the chord first. You play E minor, then you play E minor major 7. Okay, instead of 2, you have 1 on the 4th string. Okay, so you have, and you have this. And then you have E minor 7, okay, with the open 4th string. Then you have, okay, E minor 6 with 4 on the 5th string. Okay, you can put 4 and 2, okay, 4 on the 5th, 2 on the 4th, but you really don't have much space to do it in. Okay, so it's, right? Okay, it's 2, 1, 0 on the 4th, and then 4 on the 5th. Okay, so the melody is 2, 2, 0 on the E string. So, alright? I'm sorry. You play 2 on the E string with the 6th string. Then you play the chord, strings 2, 3, and 4. The 4th string with your thumb, of course. Then you play 2, 0 on the E string with strings 5 and 4. Right? Right? The thumb goes 6, 4, 5, 4. Right? play the fifth with 2, you play the fourth with 0. And then you do exactly the same thing with 1 on the 4th string. Okay? Exactly the same thing. Okay? With that minor major 7 chord. Okay? You see, I told you it's manageable. It's exactly the same. Then you do exactly the same thing with the open 4th string. Okay? Exactly the same thing. And then you have this. Okay? You have 2-0 on the E string, then the open 2nd, open 1st again. And every one of those is with a bass note. Okay? And you have 4 on the 5th string, and you just play them. Okay? String 6, 5, 6, 5. So it's. Okay? Got it? And I suggest you practice this. Okay? Only that little bit here. Okay? The main part. Okay? And then. Okay? It's actually easier to play it in full speed. Okay? When you look at the tab, it's very confusing, but if you try to play it without the tab, after you're used to it, you'll see that it's actually pretty intuitive once you get down to it, because of Travis picking. You see? It's a little bit easier, because the tab is very confusing. And then you have F sharp 7. Okay, and it's F sharp, bar on 2, E shape. You take the pinky to 5 on the 2nd string, okay? That's the 7th. And you just keep Travis picking, and you play strings 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay, and you keep Travis picking. And then you have this. Okay? And every time you have the 4th string, okay, the alternate bass, you hammer on 2 to 3 on the 3rd string 4 times, and then you just play the 2nd string on 2. Okay, you let go of the pinky, so it's. Okay, that's it. So the melody is. With Travis picking, with the bass notes. If it's easier for you, play the melody first and then add the Travis picking. Right? Then you have A minor, bar on 5 on strings 1, 2, and 3 with the 5th string. Okay? And you can add 7 on the 4th for an alternating bass. Or you can have your 3rd thing, your 3rd string as the alternating bass. Okay, you can use that. Okay, so okay, he plays 7, 5 on the E string with the chord, okay, and then plays A minor, just the open A minor, and then you have this. Okay, you have. Just a pick strum, kind of. Okay, you kind of strum the chord, but with your fingers, and then 3, 4 on the bass, and then A minor again. You play bass chord, and then the open E string. Okay, 5th string, strings 2, 3, and 4, and then the open E string. So, okay, now you see how it works in context. This is exactly what he plays. And then you have this. Okay, you have. And then you have this. And then you have. So. Okay. It's strings 2 and 4 and you play string and you play frets 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 0 and 0, and 2 on the third string. Okay, it's A minor. Okay, you just take it up 2 frets and then back down, then open. Then you have F sharp 7 again. Okay, so it's F sharp without the pinky, and this time you play strings 3 and 4. Okay, right? This is what you play, just these strings. But what's going on with the bass notes is this. Okay, it's the 6th string on 2, then 5, 4, 3 on the 5th string, and the 5 is with your pinky, then the 4 with the chord note, and then you just take it down. So you have it like this. Try to listen to the bass notes. Okay? Alright? So bass, and then 2 chords with 5, 2 chords with 4, 3 by itself. Okay? What about the alternating bass? After you play the first chord, you play the 4th string. And then B7. B7, you play strings 2 to 5. And then okay, you play 0 on the 5th string, 3, 2 on the 6th string. Leave the chord on, so just take the finger off, okay? Okay, it's B7 with A, G, and F sharp. Okay, so you play the chord, and then okay, he plays strings 4, 3, 4. He plays this. But you can do strings 4, 3, 2. Right? After each note. Right? And this is the second part. Right? So practice that because I promise you the rest of it is not easy, but it's a little bit simpler to learn. Right? So just practice this part first. All right? So and then A minor. Remember the bass move? F sharp. B7 with B, A, G, F sharp. All right. So after you finish learning this, okay, I don't suggest you to move on. I don't recommend moving on before you know this, okay? You play part 2 twice, and then you move on to part 3, which is this. Okay, and then which is exactly the same B7 transition that we did right now. Okay, so you bar 9 up to the 4th string. You play, okay? You play the bass 6th string, then you play the chord strings 2, 3, and 4, 4th with your thumb. Then you play 9 on the E, 10 on the E string. Okay, this is E7, so you play the 10 on the E string with the 6th string, and then the chord again. Okay, so then you put 7, 5, 7 on 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is still E7, and you do. Okay, you play strings 1 and 6, then 2 and 3 with your thumb. Okay, the 3rd string with your thumb. Okay, Okay, then you play 6/4 on the bass and the A string. Okay, so again. Okay, then you put on A minor like this, 5/5/5/7 and the open 5th string. Okay, 5/5/5/7 and you play. Okay, you already played the A bass. You play 7 on the 4th, and then okay, you play the chord with 7 slide to 8/5 on the E string. And you continue the Travis picking, of course. So, and then 7, 6, 5 on the 5th string. You put these 2 fingers for an A7 shape. Okay, this is D7, but you need the pinky. So it's these 2 fingers. You play. Okay, you play the chord, strings 2, 3, and 4, and then you have okay, 5, 7, 8, 8, 7, 5 on the E string. Okay, and it's okay. Right, Travis picking, and then you have okay. It's a little bit of a solo. You bar 7 and you play E string, and then 7, 7 on strings 2 and 3, and then 8, 9 on 2 and 3. And then, okay, 7, 8, 7, hammer on, pull off on the 2nd string, 9, 7 on the 3rd. Okay, so, okay, and then you have B7. So it's bar on 7, E shape. The pinky goes to 10 on the 2nd string. And you start with the bass. You continue with 8, 10 on strings 3, 2, and then 8, 7. You just let go of the pinky. Okay? Just along with the bass notes. Okay? And of course, start with the bass. Okay? That's the important part. And then 6, 7, 0 on the 6th string, back to E minor. And then it's the open 2nd, 3 on the 1st, open 2nd, open 1st. Okay, simple. So, right, just E minor. And then you have 1 slide to 2 on the 6th string, back to F sharp 7, and you play the chord with 2 on the E string. And then you have this. Okay, just 2s on the E string with 3 on the 5th string and then B7. So you have, okay, 2 and then 3 on the 5th and then B7, the whole chord. And then you have this again. Okay, exactly the same as before. So, lift the wrong finger. Right? So that's part 3. Okay, so again, practice that. E7. B7. E minor. F sharp 7. Flat 5. B7. Okay, all right. So we're about not yet we're about halfway through. Okay, so part 4 starts with part 2 up to F sharp 7. Okay, so all you do is the E minor line. Okay, you do this. Okay, up to this. Instead of F sharp 7, you do another E minor. Okay? So it's E minor. You play the 2nd string, and then the 2nd string twice again with 3 on the 6th string. Then A minor. Okay, 1, 1 on the 2nd string. 3 on the 6th string again, and then E minor again with the open 2nd string. So, okay, look at the bass notes. E, G, A, G, E minor, okay? And then you go back to the intro. And then he does this. Okay? 6th string and then strings 1, 2, and 3 on 0, 4, 3. You slide it up 1 fret to 5 and 4. Okay? Okay? Then he has this solo. Now, the only thing that I didn't get exactly 100% right are those 2 solos. He has a solo here and he has a solo at the end of the piece. Okay, I tried to listen to it very closely, but this guy is incredible. He's just amazing. So I didn't get the solo exactly right, but I think I got it about 80% correct. So so it's 5 and 5 on strings 1 and 2. Then it's 8, 5 slide to 4. You can pull it off. Then 5 on the 3rd, 7 pull off to 5 on the 4th, 7 slide to 6 on the 5th, open 4th, and then 3 pull off to 0 on the 5th string. Okay, so you have part 5. Now this is where the song changes key. Okay, it changes key into A minor. Now, even though it's a key change, the melody is the same melody as the second part. But it's a little bit easier because you have to change 7, 6, 5, 4 on the 4th string. Okay, and you bar 5, okay, and you have this. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4 on the 4th string. Okay, and the melody is 7, 7, 5 on the E string. Okay, and then you do the same thing with 6 on the 4th. Then with 5. And then it does the same thing with 4. Right? So you don't really have to work too hard here. Okay, it's the same thing throughout. And then you have B7, just like you had F sharp 7. Okay? Just strings 1, 2, 3. Okay? Exactly the same. Instead of here, you have it here. And then 7 hammer onto 8 on the 3rd string, but then you have this. You don't have, you have this. Okay, you have 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, and then 11, 10, 11. Okay, so I got it the first time. Okay, and then you have D minor, so it's just 10, 10, 10 and the open D string. Okay, so okay, it's just 10, 12, 10 on the E string and then the 2nd string, which is along with the Travis picking anyway. And then 4 on the 5th, open 4th, and then 4, 6, 4, 5, and 6 up to 5, 6, 7. Okay, okay, just up 1 fret, and you continue the Travis picking, and then okay, with the chord you have 8, 6 on the 2nd string, and then the open E string, and then 3 with your pinky on the 2nd string, and then you have B7. right? And then you have 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 on the second string, and then you have E. Okay, so okay, so it's B7 twice, and then F7. Okay, so again another seventh chord on 1, and then E. Right, and then he has this. Okay, this chord. It's 0, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's an augmented chord. Okay, he plays strings 5, 5, 4, and then up the whole guitar. Okay, so that's it. That's the fifth part. Relatively easy, right? And then D minor. Right? And then you just repeat everything, and instead of this, you play this. Right? Just a solo on the second string, along with E. So you have the along with E, you have 3, 4, 3 double slide, 1, 0 on the second string. So it's along with E. Okay, and then you have part 5. We're approaching the end of the piece. So it's this. Okay, you have 10, 12, 11 on strings 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this is A7. Okay, with the open fifth string. And you play the bass, the chord, and then you have 15 on E with the bass, and then the chord again, then 12 on E with the bass, and then the chord again. So you have this, right? And you continue. And then you have the same with D minor with 13 and 10 on the E string. Then you have, right? You have 12, 11, 10 on the fifth string into a B7 shape, right? And you play the chord. And then you have, sorry. Oh, right. Right? So you play the chord, and then 10, 12, 13, 13 on E, 12 on E, 12, 13 on B, and then 13 pull off 12 on the second string, 14, 12 on the third. Then part 6, you play the E7 A minor of the third part, meaning this. And then, right? And then you have, right? You have 5, 6, 7 on the sixth string into B7. You play the E string on 7 4 times. Okay, and you end on E7. Okay, again, 7, 5, 7. You play the sixth string with the first string, and then you play the second and third strings. Okay, third string with your thumb, and then you have this. And then you play part 5. Okay, 7, 6, slide to 7 twice on the sixth string, and then part 5. Then it's this. Okay, you play it up to the asterisk, meaning up to the D minor. Okay, after you play it. Okay, and then you have the D minor. Up to the slide. Okay, and then you play A minor. Okay, you play A minor, 5, 5 on the E string, and then D minor 7. Okay, D minor without the pinky, and then A minor again. So, okay, and then you play the last solo, which again I didn't get 100% right. Part 7. 5/8 on 1 and 2, open 1 and 2, 7 on the third, open first, 3 hammer onto 4 on the second. Okay, so it's 5 on first, 8 on second, 0, 0, 7 on 1, 2, and 3. Open E. Okay, 3 hammer onto 4 on B. Okay, 0, 3, 5 on 1, 2, 3. 2 on the third, 5, 2 on the fourth. And then it's the bend on 3 on the 6th string, and then A minor with 2 on the E string. It's A minor 6. So, and that's music to watch girls go by and your lesson. So thank you very, very much for purchasing this private lesson. I enjoyed this immensely. This was incredible to work on. So thank you. And you go enjoy this. Remember, practice it slowly and methodically, just lick by lick, bar by bar, chord by chord, melody note by melody note, and you'll do fine. Take your time and enjoy it. So I'll see you again, hopefully, whether on the channel or another private lesson just between the two of us. It was my pleasure. It would be my pleasure again. So thanks for watching and enjoy.